Hey y'all, Sherry G here. Welcome back to the channel. So, we just saw, or actually, season 6, episode 11 of Love and Marriage Huntsville did air, and I watched it, and I plugged out just a couple of scenes that I wanted to expound on. The first one I want to talk about is the conversation between Miss Betty and her sister, Stormy, and her cousin. Does Miss Betty ever smile, y'all? I mean, her face is just always scrunched up. In this particular scene that I'm going to be commenting on in this video, she did smile a couple of times, but it was because she was taking jabs at her family members, and it seemed like she was taking delight in that. That's the only time I've ever seen Miss Betty smile. I have to tell you that women like her and Wanda, in my opinion, being grandmothers, I'm a grandmother, we're all of mature age. It's very, very disheartening to see how these women act and the fact that they thrive off of this type of drama. But that's just how it is for some people. It's just unbelievable to me that they actually thrive off of this drama. And the thing that I found so interesting at the beginning of this particular scene is Stormy calling herself clearing the air and clearing the energy between her and her mother. There's no amount of sage that can clear the type of evil energy that Miss Betty possesses, in my opinion. In my opinion, she needs an exorcist. That's what I'm alleging. That's what I'm standing on. So let's take a listen to the scene as it played out on television, and then I'll come back and give my comments. Keep in mind that the views I expressed, they are alleged. It is my opinion and the opinion of those who choose to comment down below in the comment section. It's for entertainment. It's for fair use and all that jazz. So let's take a listen to this scene and how it plays out. And then I'll be back.
Sage and clear any negative energy. We're gonna focus on positive conversations.
I gave you the rundown from the jump that Junior shouldn't have been hired. Friends and family
Let's
business.
just have a
No
conversation with good energy. You already going up. Making the decision to part ways with Junior, with Candace Beauty, it was like one of the hardest things I've ever done. We grew up really close, like to the point where we were like almost might as well be brother and sister. Somehow, some way, my mama had already told my Aunt Lisa about what happened between Junior and I. There's so much like history and like baggage and just emotional turmoil between my mom and her sister, my Aunt Lisa. And I really kind of wish like my Aunt Lisa could have learned about what happened between Junior and I know like in our family, like, you know, when stuff go left over here with us, like it can kind of trickle with y'all. So I didn't want to see that happen, but y'all already know now.
I don't understand why you didn't feel it was necessary to tell me.
Well, I was under the impression that Junior was going to tell you. So you found out from Mama?
Yeah, your mom. She came to my house, okay, and we was talking, and she kept saying something about the warehouse. So I said, you do know Junior's fired, right? I didn't appreciate her coming at me like that, telling me off guard. And I was like, off guard? Yeah, because I had no idea. She took it upon herself to turn around and say, you know, Junior don't work at the warehouse no more. He said something about Stormy, and I was about to whoop his butt. No. No. That is not what was said.
You know me, Junior. I don't bite my tongue for shit. I don't bite my tongue. My thing is, I feel like all the stuff that Stormy have done to you, for you not to be there and have her back. Well, I mean, Junior, think of all the times she have jumped up for you. But then to tell her when stuff was messing up in there that you just an employee. You her cousin too.
You're my cousin too, but it's only so much that I can see.
But you saw. But what you did see, you didn't tell her.
May I speak?
Yes.
business is this? It's yours or is it Betty?
Say what you want to
Say what you gotta say.
Say what you want to say.
Say what you gotta say.
Me, I just wanted to be able to tell y'all. Like, how do you feel about not hearing it from Junior?
He is 29 years old. I can't tell him what to do, and his auntie definitely can't tell him.
I'm not telling you what
Well,
to do.
why every time when you get mad with my child, you always be threatening to talk about, I need to whoop his butt or I'm gonna cuss him out.
No. Well, I said that I was pissed at how he treated my daughter. Stormy took the time out to pay $15,000 for your son to get out of jail.
Junior went to jail. Who gives a
Get your hand off of me. Take this mic off of me.
No.
She has no right to talk about my child and what he did. Everybody is not perfect. She's not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Is she gonna say that you went to jail one time? No. Did I ever say that? No.
Every time we all together, I swear to God, if this one we don't want to answer like me and Junior straight. But y'all say y'all be straight, can you please? Why are you laughing?
Because she said you went to jail. But
Okay, bitch, I went to jail. All right, I was 18. I went to jail.
somebody you told this.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for letting everybody know that I went to jail when I was 19. But, you know, I sat in there for 3 days, and when I saw the judge, he realized I was an amazing college student, and he threw it out. Oh, Lord. And it's still a mugshot out there of me doing like this.
I'm through.
Get your hand off of me.
Can we talk to your sister?
No.
You just like to run your
Am I lying though?
mouth.
Am I lying?
Why you bringing it up?
Can we talk to your sister? No.
Not gonna be fake with it.
It ain't about being fake. Like, that's a... Hearing them go back and forth, I'm realizing that, you know, this isn't about me and Junior at all. And it'll never be. Like, my mom and my aunt, they have real issues with each other and with everyone else as well.
You think airing everybody's laundry out is cool, but is all your clothes clean?
I don't want to talk to you.
Why you want to talk
I
to me?
know, because you're a condescending little prick.
And this ain't even about this.
What's it about?
I feel like you need to talk to Lisa.
Blood don't have to be thicker than water. It don't. Sometimes you can cut blood out.
I'm gonna go get Lisa. I'm gonna go get us. And Lisa, please, no, please stop.
Mama's evil. Your mama's evil. She is evil. I am through with this. I am through.
You need to be in there.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
You need to be in there because she in there with Junior.
And what she gotta leave him alone.
is going somewhere you need to be.
Explain that.
You're a condescending prick. Look it
Explain
up.
it.
I don't have to.
Why not?
Drew.
So you gonna me something but can't
Don't
explain it?
me. Your ass. Make me. Russell is.
Okay, y'all. So ain't this about some crazy mess right here? Oh my God. I was thinking to myself, does Betty ever smile? I mean, her face stays crunched up. But speaking of smile, she did give a couple smirks in this particular scene. When Lisa told her that, you know, Stormy had been arrested too. Stormy had actually gone to jail. And then Betty started smiling and laughing. You know, Stormy asked her, what are you laughing about? That's the first time I've ever seen Betty laugh or I've ever seen her smile. And it felt a little off-putting, actually. Not because I don't believe that Betty's capable of smiling. There is a point in time when I almost believe that. But because it just seemed so out of character to me. And it made me sit back and kind of contemplate this whole particular scenario. So I believe that there's some points of realness in this particular scene, but I believe there's some points of fakerism too. So I'm not really sure about that part where Stormy, you know, was arrested at 19. with Betty's laughing, because the Betty that I know, or the Betty I feel I know, just based on the show and what I've seen, she would really go off and go crazy and go bonquiqui on somebody, right? But she sat back and she laughed about it. So, and then Stormy says in the outtake that thanks, Aunt Lisa, for telling the whole world that I was arrested when I was 19 years old. She goes, I sat in there for 3 days, but then the judge saw that I was such a great student, such a great scholar, that he actually dismissed the case and let me out. And she was too, laughing about it. So I really don't know what the laugh is about. Like I said, it just seemed a little out of character to me and just a little bit off-putting for me, just based on how I know Betty to be. I could see Stormy laughing about it, shrugging it off like it's not a big deal because, she only sat there for 3 days. I just wonder what actually happened and why she got arrested. That was so long ago. I don't know if you research it, if you could even find out. But at this point, it really doesn't matter. And the whole thing that I really hate about the way Betty operates is that she's always taking these jabs at people. The fact that she would just throw her family out there like that and tell Junior's business on national TV, that what Stormy did, and she paid $15,000, and the way she screwed her face up when she was saying it, to get your son out of jail. When family members have it like that and they're close, that's what family members do. But for her to just air it out like that, I feel that if Stormy was in that type of trouble when they were close, and if Junior was in a place like that, he would have probably done the same thing for her too. But there was just really absolutely no need for her to put it out there like that. And I could see Lisa getting upset about that. One thing that Stormy mentioned in this particular segment was that she and Junior were pretty close and they grew up pretty close, but there seemed to be like struggles within their relationship because of the relationship that Lisa and Betty had. And if you think about it, this is very similar to what is going on with Kiki and with Kiki and Tisha. So I can see even more so now how her and Kiki, Stormy and Kiki, could form a bond. They're both very, very outspoken individuals. Like I said before, Kiki just seems to be a little more curated, if you will, for lack of a better term, with the way she comes about things. She has a more mature way of handling things and of carrying herself. But I could see the connection because there was a time when Tisha and Kiki were close, and their relationship is affected by the relationship between Kiki's father and Tisha's mom. They're siblings, and so they have that sibling rivalry. So it makes sense even more and more how her and Kiki could form a bond together. So I don't know. One of the things that Betty says in this particular segment is that she doesn't bite her tongue. So when when Lisa said, thanks for telling the whole world that my son went to jail, and she goes, well, was I lying? That's beside the point, Betty. But then she goes, because I don't bite my tongue. Oh, excuse me. Sound like a frog. But I beg to differ, Betty. You do bite your tongue, because when it came down to your reason for being so angry and having all of these volatile emotions towards Melody, you gave us like 3, 4, 5, 6 different reasons, allegedly, and in my opinion. So you do bite your tongue. You can't make up your mind. In other words, you do lie, right? So I did like the fact that when all of this was getting started, then Lisa said, can I speak? And she asked Stormy, well, whose business is this? Like, whose business is Canvas Beauty? And the thing about Stormy is she never really answered that question. She couldn't answer that question. Again, Stormy fails to put her mom in her place when it's necessary. And so this is, again, an example of one of those times when she didn't say, well, you know what, it's my business and I should be able to handle it without her mom interfering. So again, here's another example of, mothers, grandmothers interfering in their grown children's business. And it's one of the things that just grits my nerve when it comes to Betty and Wanda. So seems like Betty is the replacement for Wanda this season. I just hope we don't have to deal with her much longer, because I would love to see some Miss Van so she could just balance out all of this older generational drama that we're getting from these women, these bad examples of a grandmother, these bad examples of more mature women, these bad examples of women in my age group, of how we sit down and have mature conversations and handle any discord that we may have with each other without it being so crazy, volatile, and over the top. Like, all that yelling and screaming that was going on was unnecessary. There was so much yelling and screaming that I really couldn't understand a lot of what they were saying. But anyway, that's all I have for you in this video. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell because I will be back. Please share your comments in the comments section below. Until next time, ciao.